morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again. Nice to see some new faces. Nice to see some people recurring and coming back. We've got a little bit of a treat for you this morning with Ellie from Focus Creative. She's one of our Game Changer members. She's one of our friends, and she's got lots of tips and advice around how to pivot your business at this time, and businesses that have actually pivoted successfully as well. We hope you've had a rested weekend and you're ready to get your head back into work. And I'm going to hand straight over to Ellie so she can do what she does best, which is make businesses successful.
Thanks, Anna. Morning, everyone. Yes, I'm Ellie, and I am the account director and also do a bit of strategy and stuff for Focus Creative. First of all, apologies about my haircut if you can see me. I had an isolation homemade haircut last night and it ended up with most of my head being shaved. I don't normally look this aggressive, just to let you know that's my photo where I look more normal there on screen. So I guess the topic today that we're looking at, I can just change slide, is the dirty word of pivoting. And I have heard lots of people say, if one more person says to me, I need to pivot my business, I'm going to scream. And I think that's totally valid. And I'm not going to talk about that word much at all today. I guess the question is, what can we do if we're losing customers because of COVID-19? And the one definition of pivoting that I do like is the ability to iterate without crisis. And with the world changing so quickly out there for businesses, we know we have to pivot really quickly and make decisions really quickly without being in crisis. Now this presentation's based on a download, and that link to that download is in the chat. Anna's put it in there. So don't worry about taking any notes. The steps I'm going to take you through are based on the thinking that we have gone through with our clients at the agency. And I'll also show you some case studies of some of our clients and some other businesses we're aware of who have taken some of these steps and taken this thought process about changing, adapting because of the situation we find ourselves in. If you do have any questions, I'm monitoring the chat on the other screen, so just pop something in and I will answer it the best I can. So first thing is, are you losing customers? Now most businesses are, one way or another, losing some customers because of COVID-19. And the first question we ask ourselves is, do people still need the product or service you are providing despite COVID-19? And to help think through that question, we've got a little needs worksheet in the download. And the questions that we help think through from this perspective is what does your business do? What is the core customer need your business serves? Do customers feel core needs still exist? And then which potential customers are likely to have money to spend despite the situation we find? Who make home appliances, including coffee machines. So their core business sort of offering is the manufacture of coffee machines. That's what they do as their primary business. And the core customer need that they serve is top quality fresh bean coffee at home. And that's a picture of one of their latest machines there. So they ask themselves, do customers still exist for this need? Are there still people wanting top quality coffee at home? And the answer is yes, absolutely. In fact, there's more people wanting top quality coffee at home because those people who are working from home don't have access to the cafes near their offices or the coffee machines in their offices. And then they had a look at which potential customers are likely to have money to spend. And in the download, we've actually linked to an IBIS report about which industries are likely to be more or less hit by COVID. So for example, workers who are employed by the government, workers who work in superannuation, in defence, that sort of thing. Those industries are all likely to have very low impacts despite COVID-19. So that's the first set of questions that we helped our clients think through, which is, do people still need your product or service? And then if the answer is yes, we're going to turn over. If the answer is no, don't worry, we've got some more questions coming up later. So yes, we still think that people need really high quality coffee at home. So the next question is, well, can we find our customers in different places than we'd normally find them? So for example, we know that a lot of local businesses like local cafes and pubs can't find customers in their current place because customers can't come to them in the same way. So this next sheet is a way of thinking through how can you find those customers that you know are still out there and still want or need your product or service, but might just be in a different place. So the questions we're asking ourselves here again are, who are those customers? Can we get our product or service to them in a new location? And then how do we tell both current and potential customers that they can still get the products or service. And just sticking with the DeLonghi example, we've got those people who are working from home, they're white collar workers who are in industries that are less likely to be hit by COVID-19. So they still have money to burn. In fact, they probably have more money to burn because they're not commuting and they're not able to go out for their cocktails on a Friday or whatever they might be doing through the weekend and that sort of thing. How can we get the product or service in a new location? So we've seen an innovation in home delivery here. You know, up until COVID-19, Australia was roughly 12% online sales, 70% online, 30% offline. Now, just in a matter of a month, we've seen the shift online move incredibly quickly, quicker than we could ever expect to have seen in normal occasions. And businesses all over are innovating in home delivery. People can get orders much faster and they can get contactless home delivery so that there's no hygiene concerns. This is actually a direct screen grab from the Good Guys, who wanted DeLonghi's route to market to their coffee machine. And then really important, how can we tell current and potential customers that they can still get the product or service? And this is where digital marketing really comes into play. People's online consumption of online media, so video, social media, everything like that has gone up enormously across the different age groups as well. So digital marketing really important. And on the right there is just an example of a coffee bean company who have been running a digital advertisement based on staying at home and getting good coffee as well. And in terms of this pivoting that DeLonghi have done, they actually saw an increase of their coffee machine sales by 400% in the first 2 weeks of the COVID-19 crisis here in Australia, which is obviously enormous. Like they won't maintain that level of growth. That's also a spike because people are getting coffee machines for the home, but it has allowed them to generate enough business to relax and then think about what's next and sort of take the edge off. So they're the first few things to think through. Now, clearly, not everyone is going to have this as an answer for their business. And then therefore, we've got some other questions. So if yes, you can find your customers in a different place, great. Our message is just do it now, do it as quickly as possible. Things are moving so fast that we have to act really quickly. And if you can, reach out to a digital marketing agency to help you find more potential customers. With quite a small spend online, with a good digital marketing agency or even a freelancer, you can reach a great number of customers right now online through various digital channels, just because we're all stuck at home on our computers and our smart TVs. We're going to move on now to know, I've been through these sheets and actually I don't think my existing product or service is still needed in the world we find ourselves in. So what next? Where from there? And the next question we've been working our clients on sort of answering is, can we adapt the product or service to something which is needed now, which is needed in this strange time we're living in? And again, we've got this adapting worksheet to help think through the questions. And then questions that we are thinking through here are things like, what product or service does your business do? Who else might need it right now? How can we adapt the offering to serve these new people? Then obviously some operational questions like, what do we need to change operationally to make this adaptation work well? And then how do we find customers with this adapted product? We'll scale with some of our local coffee shops and fooderies, adapting their food to be takeaway and moving their delivery online. One of my favorite French bakeries in Clavelli very quickly moved all their products online. They're doing a roaring trade because everyone wants a sweet treat in these difficult times. This other example is another one of our clients, Zest. So they do in-home support for people living with disability. So people who've got NDIS government funding can access various different supports, and Zest is one of the providers of those supports. Those supports can range from personal care, helping people get clean, get dressed, looking after their home, getting them out in the community, helping them get to the shops, things like that. Now, obviously, with COVID-19, a lot of people living with disability are immunocompromised and therefore don't want different support workers coming in and out of their house. So Zest actually saw a drop in their bookings for support workers, roughly 30% week on week, although it was bigger at other points as well, which was obviously a huge substantial impact on their business. So what they did was they were placing support workers with people living with disability for specific needs. Now the drop-off they were seeing was specifically around coming into the home because of the infection risk, and also obviously all of community services were cancelled as well, because people living with disability didn't necessarily want to go out into the community, considering the restrictions for health and the law as well. But we do know that there are lots of people living with disability stuck at home feeling quite isolated, that they can't get out, they can't do some of the things in their normal routine that they'd love to do. And so we had a workshop with Zest, and they came up with some great ideas, including helping people living with disability connect online. And they came up with the idea to do some online support, so whether it be online lunch dates or also online gaming groups for some of the younger people who are living with disability who like online games. And they contacted NDIS, which is a government agency, and asked them if the funding could be used for online services, and NDIS agreed for this period of time that we're in at the moment, which is fantastic. And they're just in the process of officially launching 3 new services: the online dinner parties, online gaming, and then also a third option, which is how they operationally allow people to get online if they perhaps haven't been online before. So they've got a third set of service, which actually those people can go to the home just once, wearing full protective gear, set them up with a computer and whatever adaptive technology they might need so they can get online. And we're actually just doing a launch campaign for them to announce to their current client base that they're offering these extended services. So that really is as simple as an email out to their database, updating their website, and a couple of social media posts. So not a huge amount of cost there, but they're communicating with their current clients that they've got extended services as well. So we're going to offset some of it so that it buys them a bit of time to work out what's happening in the industry and what they can do next. And then do it now if you can, is always a message. And then if you can't, we've got one last question to ask yourself, which is, do you have any skills in your business for something else? So what skills do you have? Are there other people who know these skills? Are there any other organizations or businesses who need these skills right now, and how can you reach them? Can you turn your skills into a product? And then how do you tell people about your skill-based product or service? Now, these are not a client of ours, but the IT support guys supported small and medium-sized businesses with IT services and fix people's servers and all sorts like that. Clearly, we've got a lot of people working from home who still need IT support. And then there are businesses and organizations who have had to move their entire workforce online. A lot of small businesses have reached, they created a whole load of home. And because they put that on social media, you can see they picked up quite a lot of views immediately, 300,000 views very quickly in early April. That allowed them to actually advertise on those YouTube channels. YouTube kicks in with advertising normally automatically. You can have that as a setting for your videos reaching a large number of people. So not only were they actually making contact with small businesses through their content, they were also actually making advertising revenue as well through their videos on YouTube. And that's a great opportunity. I just put there, use social media to reach people as well, for that sort of thing as well. I'm just conscious of the time, so I'll just keep going. So if you can use your skills for something else, great. If not, can you use the assets in your business for something else? Now, this one's slightly harder, but also we're seeing this in our local area being quite successful. So what assets does your business have? And think about everything here: physical equipment, spaces, the environment you operate in. Are there any other businesses and organizations who need these assets right now, and how can you reach them? And then how can you use your assets in different ways, and how can you reach those potential customers? So for example, there's some great sharing platforms up and running now because of the COVID-19 situation. So there's Chef's Cluster, where you're attached to the Glebe tennis courts here in the inner west. They listed their space on Chef's Cluster, and there's been quite a number of organisations that had to scale up their food production because of the situation with people isolating and needing to get food delivered. And they're actually hiring out that space now, which is obviously a win-win for all involved. The organisation are getting a sort of reduced rate professional kitchen, and the Glebe courts, which is run by City Community Tennis, are getting extra income as well from renting their space out. So also think about your assets. If you've got any vans or any spaces or any equipment that other businesses might need, now is the time to think about who else might need them as well. Yeah, so do that if you can. And I guess the main message is don't panic. We've moved through, thankfully, the first few weeks of panic that we all were feeling slightly. Hopefully you've had a chance to take a breath. I know that we have slightly as well. But yeah, the panic is the worst thing. And we've seen businesses that we've known for a long time fold very quickly because unfortunately their revenue drops so quickly and you're just sort of stuck in that moment of panic. Reach out to people like ourselves. You know, there are lots of really great digital marketing people out there. Reach out to someone, because sometimes all it takes is like an hour-long workshop just to come up with ideas together about what we can do differently. You know, what can we change, what can we adapt, just to keep things ticking along until things calm down, which we know is happening now moving forward. And then also just the last thing to think about is what will life look like for our businesses post-COVID-19? Undoubtedly, some of these changes in behaviour at a customer level are going to stay. Online sales are going to stay. Work from home is probably going to stay to a large degree. So start thinking now about how to adapt your business post-COVID-19 and I'll chat with you if we can be helpful as well. So thanks. I'm sorry I've gone over slightly there, Anna, but I'll upload on the link that Anna shared as well.
That's all right, Ellie. I'm sure they wanted to hear every single thing you've got to say. Does anyone have any questions that are burning right now that they'd love Ellie to address? Please do pop any questions in the Q&A. This is your window.
Or you can contact me anytime anyway. So yeah, this is one window.
Yeah, this is one window, and there's many other windows. Basically, open all your windows and get some fresh air today, everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much, Ellie. And we're really proud to have you as a Game Changer member and as a leader that's a different kind of leader. And thank you for sharing your knowledge and support and donating that time today to help our community. We do have lots and lots of boosts. It's happening every day, Monday to Thursday. Tomorrow we've got an interesting fella called Oscar Trimboli. I don't know if anyone's heard of him before, but he's an author, he's a writer, he's an incredibly interesting character who's going to be talking about the benefits of truly listening. And there's never been a more important time for us to really listen, whether that's to our customers, to ourselves, to our family around us that are telling us how we're feeling every 2 minutes. So tune in tomorrow, be kind to yourself today. Let's make this week a positive one, and you know where we are if you need us, okay? I'll speak to you soon and take care.